Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to a new video. Today we have Player Moments Daramy that released today. It's a cheap card. It costs like 34k, which it should, because it's very, very hard to get links with him, and his stats are not that crazy, but I do think he's going to be somewhat usable in game. We're going to see what's up with this card, right? We're looking at a card that is 5'11 with medium work rates, 4-star skill moves with a 3-star weak foot. So right off the bat, I want to try this card out on balance instructions because I feel like with the medium work rates, he could potentially move really nicely, especially with the marksman chemistry style because it boosts his attacking positioning by a +5 when it's already at a 93, right? So very important things to begin with. Now, I don't like the fact that he has the skill moves over the weak foot because I feel like for a striker, it's mostly ideal to be able to shoot with your weak foot than it is to have the skill moves. Would it be nice if EA gave these new cards a minimum of 4-star, which is very obvious that they could. I don't know why they don't. Yeah, they probably should. It's not necessarily a bad card to give 4-star too because the links are not that crazy, right? So it is what it is. In regards to his actual stats, guys, we're looking at 93 acceleration, 90 sprint speed. So as a striker, you don't necessarily need to improve that, right? But the finishing, you may want to improve as much as possible. So I decided to give him the marksman chemistry style because of his agility being at 99 and his bounce being at 99, considering the fact he is also 5'11". I have to boost his 3 main dribbling stats as much as possible to make him as responsive as possible in game. And I feel like with the composure, you're going to have to sacrifice for it because if you boost the composure from a 70 to a 75, I really don't feel like that's going to make a significant difference for you, right? So with the 75 reactions, 91 ball control, and 99 dribbling, I feel like his dribbling will actually be somewhat responsive. And because his reactions is a little low at 75, I do feel like his agility and balance will compensate for it a little bit. That's what it seems like, right? We have to try this out in game, obviously, because of his height. And his body type is apparently average in game, so it's a stockish body type, so we'll see what's up with that too. He can't really pass the ball. He does have short passes, so again, you want to mainly use this card as a striker, mostly. 83 stamina also suggests that you want to mainly use him as a striker. He does have some physical characteristics with 86 strength and 78 aggression. Again, marksman will boost that strength and aggression, which will be very helpful in the attacking area, obviously. The thing with this card, he has to compensate a lot with off-the-ball movement. Like, his off-the-ball movement needs to be really good for this card to be usable because it's a very generic card. I call these cards concept cards, right? Like, I'm always happy with them releasing something at least every day. Something that's interesting, right? Just a different card because it doesn't always have to be full meta in this game. Like, for the people who are Danish or they have sentimental value towards Copenhagen teams, you know, stuff like that is cool to play with. I think it's Copenhagen, right? I could be wrong with the team. Traits, we're looking at technical dribbler CPU AI, so I don't really know what that does, to be honest with you guys. So we'll just leave it at that. In regards to how we are going to be lined up in-game with this card, don't worry about the positioning too much with these players. Again, we just want to kind of judge what this guy is like. We are going to be using different tactics than we normally use, right? I usually use bounce and bounce, but with him, I do want to use possession because I want to see if his characteristics makes him overthrow the tactic and he still makes those aggressive runs, right? We don't want to keep him on stay central. That is specific to Ozzy main. We don't want to put him on comeback and defense because we want to see what he's like movement-wise and how we're going to utilize him specifically, right? Because the ideal situation with these cards is that you want their characteristics to overthrow your tactics just a little bit, right? But you want to still play to your tactics a little bit as well. So because I am using possession on 4 with and 2 players in the box, it should be a very interesting variable to consider when using this card. So again, medium work rates, I love in the striker position. Mediums, medium lows, they just work really well for me personally, right? Just because of the way they generally move around the pitch, depending on their characteristics, obviously. But 98 attacking positioning with the marksman chemistry style is what I'm going to be looking at the most with this card, right? So again, balance instructions, we're not going to mess around too much with that. And yeah, Raul will play as a CDM. It doesn't really matter. He's left-footed on the left center defenseman position. Blanca will be the more defensive-oriented CDM. So let's get into a game, see how he plays. Hopefully he's good. At least he's usable. You know, that's the whole point of these reviews for these types of cards. Yeah, he looks a little stockish in game. His transitioning left and right is a little strange so far. Not necessarily the most responsive. But we'll see what's up. Ooh, good first time pass right there. Positions himself well for that opportunity. Ball roll touch. You guys know the dealio. Yeah, you know, he was facing the opposite angle, positioned himself really well in the striker position to kind of receive the ball and play off of the cams that are making the runs on the sides. But like I said, that's why in the tactics video I was always explaining to you guys that these types of cams are amazing to have because Kent, Bernardo Silva, Kalou, you know, these, well, more Bernardo Silva and Kent, they make these really good aggressive runs and utilize empty space really well. So it was good that Daramy was actually playing off of that really well. So good start so far. I don't like his transitioning, though, in defense. It's very strange. It's very, very strange. You can feel it. I think it's the reactions, maybe, that's a little too low, but we'll see. His dribbling actually feels kind of nice. It's not too bad. You do notice the reactions a little bit. Not significant enough, though. Ooh, okay, so he's one of those players that push off to the side. So the attacking positioning there is kind of nice, to be honest. Oh, he sticks to the side a little bit there too much. His reactions is very noticeable. It's like noticeably low, but the thing is that the agility and bounce is compensating for it really well to make it more usable. Good off the ball movement. First time shot from that angle. Don't shoot it now. We'll just get that near post angle right here. Go back inside. Try it with his weak foot there. Weak foot shot, obviously not too great. Yeah, he feels like I can tell you this right now. He feels like a very generic card. He is compensating really well with good off the ball movement. He does kind of linger on the sides a little too long because I like when the players linger to the side a little bit, but then start to transition back into the middle instantly. So that is a characteristic that is very weird with this card, but it's the same thing with Osimhen. Osimhen does the exact same thing. So we're going to have to actually tell him to stay central, because with stay central, if they start to linger to the sides, because of that instruction, they'll start to go back into the middle instantly. So because of his attacking positioning being high, we need to experiment with that. But so far, I don't really like him on bounce because he just stays too long on the sides, you know?
Promising sequence. A move of promise on the flank.
So I just want to experiment with his dribbling right here, which is actually very responsive in that situation right there. Pretty nice. His left stick control was actually very, very good right there. Like I said, reactions is a tad bit noticeable, so you do have to compensate a little bit with your left stick when you're using him, but the marksman chemistry style is definitely helping it out a lot. The composure is something that you have to sacrifice, in my opinion. I'm going to force a run out of him here, and does he go back into position quickly? He does. That's good. He does go back into position quickly. Nice little strength right there. Rainbow flick up. Rainbow flick's not really like the best skill move to do, to be fair. But, yeah, his physical characteristics are a tad bit noticeable. It's not like crazy noticeable, but it's okay. He's kind of playing like a false 9 striker with the stay central instructions as well. I don't like that on stay central, he tends to not make those attacking runs. Like Osimhen, when I play him on stay central, he'll still make those attacking runs in certain spaces. It doesn't really feel like this card is doing it too often. Very like target man oriented, you know. He feels like a false 9. Just the way that in that situation right there, what Osimhen would do, even though Osimhen's not that great, is he kind of starts to transition his body into an onside position, right? So even on Stay Central, I wouldn't recommend this card on Stay Central. Can't really use him there either. We're going to have to keep him on balance. I think the balance is going to be the best way to use this card. I personally don't want to use him as a false 9 because that's going to ruin the whole way that the team plays, in my opinion. We're gonna keep trying him on the balance instructions, though. Oh, a little bit of a push right there. His left stick dribbling with the marksman chemistry style is definitely improved for sure. I do notice that the most, I would say. So you can see that when I'm with my cams, right? Once I start to transition to the right or left side with Kalou or even Ryan Kent, that's when he starts to transition to the side. So it's a very noticeable characteristic that he definitely has for sure. But it's the thing of him like lingering on the sides that I don't like. It's okay when a player does that, right? But when they go back into position, I don't like when he just like kind of lingers there, which he's doing quite often in all fairness. We're going to go ahead and switch the tactics here to our balance and bounce, because possession and 4 and 2 for the attacking playstyle could be hindering his performance as well. It's obviously a big thing. So, you know, I always tell you guys that tactics sometimes just doesn't work for certain players that you have in your team, right? And it does work with Osimhen in the squad, and it may not work with this guy in my team. So let's go ahead and switch that to just balance, and we'll see how he plays now. Oh, way too much power on the finesse shot right there, especially off of the dribble right there. Not ideal. He feels very generic so far, guys. Like you know, I do these cards for the player reviews and whatnot, but he's definitely going to be fodder in the future for sure. He does make up for it with attacking positioning, though. See, that's the thing, right? You want your players to utilize empty space that quickly. You want them to do that. So if you guys are going to be doing this card for sentimental value, he'll definitely be usable in that sense, right? If you're Danish or you're a fan of Copenhagen, like, you have to focus mostly with his off-the-ball movement, because everything else he's very, very generic in, right? But utilizing empty space like that is going to be the biggest important thing with this card for sure. And you definitely notice it more with the balance instructions than you do with the possession. So my tactics for him as a striker wouldn't really work out that nicely. His positioning off the ball wise when he makes those aggressive runs forward, and you know, him getting back into an offside position is quite solid in all fairness. You can see that again, off the ball movement once you make that one initial pass is actually quite solid. So the key features of this card is 100% the fact that when he makes those aggressive runs forward, he'll get back into an onside position quickly, not necessarily in the middle quickly, but an onside position quickly, and he does utilize empty space really well with his attacking positioning. Alright guys, so final verdict on Daramy's card. He's definitely a concept card. It's not really a card I would recommend doing in terms of him being some overpowered beast. Like, I did a card one time, I think it was McKay Steven. He had like a shapeshifter's card, and that card was way better in-game than his stats suggested. It doesn't feel that way with Daramy's card. I feel like he's definitely usable, so if you guys are doing it for sentimental value, that's obviously going to be a fun thing for you. If you are doing it for sentimental value, you have to focus on his off-the-ball movement and his left stick dribbling the most, okay? That, and the fact that he will make those aggressive runs but get into an onside position instantly, which is obviously a very, very ideal situation with these types of cards. Generally speaking, I don't think he's that good, but I do appreciate them releasing at least one card a day, right? Like a card like this, I don't care if it's a concept card or if it's not that great. It's fun to do a new review for a new card. If I don't like him, he's an 87 rated, I'll use him for SBC fodder at some point as well, so not necessarily a big deal. So, yeah, you guys know I always give my opinion when it comes to these types of cards. I personally didn't really like him that much, but is he usable? Yes, they did make this card incredibly usable considering the fact that he is a 57 rated bronze card, right? So hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one tomorrow. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.